Welcome to another LCRA historic moment. I'm standing in front of Buchanan Dam, LCRA's first major project, completed in 1938 as part of our charter responsibility to tame the Colorado River. Generating electricity from Buchanan and nearby Inks dams marked LCRA's entry into the public power business, the focus of much of our operations and the source of much of our revenues today. LCRA got into public power thanks to the efforts of many people, but one person rises above them all. He was Lyndon B Johnson, who the year before had won a hard-fought special election against 7 other candidates to represent Austin and a largely rural central Texas area in the U.S. House of Representatives. One of Johnson's major campaign promises was to bring low-cost public power to the rural farm and ranch families he represented. Johnson had grown up in the hill country and knew well what life was like without electricity. Johnson had an interest in LCRA from the day he was elected. His mentor, Alvin Wirtz, was LCRA's general counsel and depended on Johnson to help maintain the federal funds needed to build the dams. Johnson looked to LCRA to be a part of the solution to bringing low-cost public power to the region. But he wasn't waiting for LCRA to make the first move. Johnson took advantage of a new federal program, the Rural Electrification Administration, or REA, which would loan money to local electric cooperatives. He went to work to help organize the Pedernales Electric Cooperative in May 1938 to serve his congressional district. In meeting after meeting, he told farmers and ranchers how electricity could make their work easier. No more milking the cows in the early morning dark if they would join the co-op for a $5 membership fee. Even so, it was a tough sell. The country was still in a depression, and $5 was a lot of money for most folks. Many farmers and ranchers were worried that by signing up, they might be signing away their land and their livelihood if something went wrong with the federal loans. When appealing to the farmers and ranchers didn't work, Johnson appealed to their wives. He recalled scenes of rural farm life, hauling water by hand, washing clothes on a scrub board, chopping wood to build a fire to heat water for cooking and washing. He described how the electricity could make life easier for them. He told them, "You'll look younger at 40 than your mother." Some old-timers believe it was the mothers and housewives who won the day for the co-op. By seeing the possibility electricity offered to help ease their household drudgery, they persuaded their husbands to sign up. But there was one more problem. Pedernales didn't qualify for the federal loans. Even with the push by Johnson, they still didn't have enough members to meet the minimum 3 members per mile, considered by REA to be an overly generous standard. When REA wouldn't budge, Johnson went to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who picked up the phone and asked the head of REA to grant Pedernales the loan. And so on September 27, 1938, Pedernales officials learned they would receive eventually $1.8 million to build more than 1,800 miles of electric lines to serve roughly 2,900 hill country families. In the meantime, Johnson helped form a similar cooperative to serve rural families who lived east of Austin in his congressional district. That co-op would eventually be known as Bluebonnet. Johnson finally had all the key players in place to bring public power to his district. Almost. One key player was missing in action, and that was LCRA. We'll tell that part of the story in our next segment.